This is Retiring Today. I'm here with Haley Gutschenritter and AnnaMarie Morrow. AnnaMarie is the Director of Medicare here at Merkle Retirement Planning, and Haley is a certified financial planner. And it's an all-female cast today because we're talking about women in retirement. This is such an important topic that we have a workshop dedicated just to women in retirement. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about that workshop, and you're going to want to stay tuned for some details on how to sign up for that. But we know, AnnaMarie, that retirement is different for women. It's just the facts.
It is. When we look at all of the factors that go into retiring for women, we can't ignore the wage gap, the difference in Social Security, and all these other factors that play into it, women living longer than men. And I'll tell you what, these women in retirement workshops, it's what we look forward to all year long. It's so exciting. And to just get to know these women and their stories that they've had and the experiences that they've had, and how an individualized plan, a customized plan for each of them can really bless and strengthen whatever circumstance they're facing in life.
And I know that we feel really empowered to teach this workshop because we're also women, and we do face a unique set of challenges because we do have the wage gap, and we also tend to be the primary caretakers for our families. So there are some things that may set us behind the eight ball when it comes to planning for retirement, but we don't want to look at those things and think, oh my gosh, I can't have a retirement plan, right? You can retire. And you can retire perfectly well. It's just all about your goals and your concerns and your struggles, and we can create a plan that's going to work for you.
And we don't want men to necessarily turn the TV right now or turn off YouTube or wherever you're watching this at, because you might have a woman in your life, right? That could be your spouse, that could be your sister, that could be, you know, your somebody that needs this information. And I also think any male watching will get something out of this too, because we're going to talk about the challenges that women face, but some of these men have to make Social Security decisions as well. Men have to make Medicare decisions as well. So there's anybody who's getting close to retirement, maybe in retirement, can get a lot of good information about what we're going to talk about today.
It's so true. And I'm glad you brought that up, because a common phone call that I get regarding Medicare is in regards to a man calls in and it's about his mother, who his father's passed away, his mother outlived, and she's in a nursing facility or heading into skilled care. And these men are looking out for their women, whether it is a spouse or a sister or a mother. So yeah, absolutely be a part of that conversation.
Okay, let's just name a few of the barriers. And we know that some of these things, there's not a lot we can do about today right here, but we want to also say to women, hey, we know what you're going through. We are women. We will someday retire. And we know that a lot of the people watching are getting ready to retire. So we know that women most likely have less saved up for retirement, Haley, for a few different reasons.
Yeah, really for a few different reasons. Women tend to be the primary caretakers, right? So if they're taking care of the family or their spouse or their parents, that means they're not working, they're not having an income. So they either have less saved for retirement or they haven't paid as much into Social Security. And those things can typically have an impact over your long-term retirement, but there are certain strategies with Social Security that you can use, and it could be available to you, but it's important to sit down with the planner and find out, do I have those options?
Yeah, also we know that women, again, for a lot of reasons, tend to retire earlier.
That's right. And when we think of someone retiring, we think, oh, they're retiring because they have enough money and they want to go have fun and live out their lifestyle goals. But the case of the matter is, the first person who comes to mind is a woman we sat down with recently. She's 58 and a half. Her husband was recently put on Social Security disability, and she was his provider of care and their children, and working a full-time job while being the provider just wasn't working for her. She was stressed and scared. So we came together, and when we showed her how she could retire, how the components work together to provide her that customized plan, she got emotional. It was a big deal for her. So now she could focus on her family, focus on taking care of her husband, who needed getting close to full-time care, and it was beautiful to be a part of and help her realize that that was a possibility now.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And we do know that women face barriers, but that doesn't mean they're not barriers we can't break down. That doesn't mean we can't walk through them. And I think knowing some of the strategies, Haley, especially when it comes to Social Security, can help you pinch every single penny possible out of it.
Yeah, there's so many strategies when it comes to Social Security. And in fact, if you're a married couple, there's actually up to 81 different options that you have when electing Social Security. So even if you're not married, you still have many options. And there's a lot of strategies out there that people don't even know about. And the first person that comes to mind for me is actually my aunt. I helped her do this last year. So my aunt was divorced. She was a primary caretaker when they were married, and she took care of the children. And she didn't pay very much into Social Security. So she's working and working and working, and she's in her late 60s, and she's thinking, I'm never gonna get to retire because my Social Security benefit is low, and I still have to save and save and save. So I'm talking with her, and I'm like, well, how long were you married? She goes, I was married over 10 years. And I was like, really,
Yeah.
because you actually have a spousal benefit on your ex-spouse, even though you're no longer married. And she goes, well, he hasn't taken it yet. And I'm just thinking, it doesn't matter. And women don't know that. It doesn't matter if they haven't yet taken it. And because her benefit was significantly lower than her ex-husband's, she was able to file a spousal benefit, $1,000 extra in her benefit a month that she now receives, even though he still hasn't even elected Social Security.
Give her a nice shout out. Look at the camera. Give her a nice shout out.
To your aunt. Yeah. And so you get a good Christmas. You should get a better Christmas present, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously the favorite niece.
Of course you
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, $1,000 extra a month is really powerful. And of course, women, or quite frankly, men, couldn't know all these strategies. There's 81 combinations if you're married. I'm sure if you're single, there's a lot of combinations as well. And also just how does it all fit with all my other investments that I have? And how does it all fit into this comprehensive plan? Of course, women couldn't know that, but that's why the two of you specialize in this kind of stuff and can share this knowledge.
It's true. We meet with so many powerful women, especially that's another reason I love this Women in Retirement workshop, because we get to connect with these women who have great stories. Right after one of our Women in Retirement workshops, we met with a woman who was there. And as we were going through our Social Security, all the 81 options, we do not go through all 81 options. But what she learned, she was a widow. And she got remarried at 59 and like 11 months, not knowing had she waited another month to get married, she could have collected her widow benefit. Yeah. So then we had, playful conversation about getting divorced and getting the benefit, which we don't do. But still,
if she had met you, sorry, not to cut you off, but I was like, if she had talked to you a year or two prior, you could have said, hey, here's a strategy, keep this in mind, you can do this, and that there could have been some more money for her in retirement there. Yeah,
exactly.
The heart of the matter really is know all your options, right? Social Security is so complex as it is, but there's spousal benefits, ex-spousal benefits, widow benefits. Know all of your options and then get with the planner so that they can help you determine how can I maximize this income in retirement.
Thank you for watching this clip of Retiring Today, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have questions about your retirement plan, take advantage of the complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call.